Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Welcome back to the garage. Today's video is a little different. I watch a couple of different channels other than just tobacco-related channels. And one of the channels that I truly enjoy is Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. The link will be in the root cellar. So at this point, I ask you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Slide over, hit the arrow, drop into the root cellar. There's where you will find the link for any channels I shout out, along with Union Cigar of Gettysburg and Hanover, Pennsylvania, HumiSmart with a discount code, and of course the great Briar Report and BRTV. So, now that all that's out of the way, John over at Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed put a interesting question out there of coffee. Sunday he does coffee reviews. And he does creamer reviews, and if there's anything you're ever interested in that you can drink, he's the one you want to watch. Because I'm telling you right now, he reviews just about anything and everything. Instant coffees, regular coffees, K-cups, bourbons, gins, ryes, moonshine. He does all of it. So check him out. What a great feller John is. And he is a loyal and faithful subscriber here. So I appreciate you, John. Thank you very much. So his question today was, coffee. He drank coffee as a kid. Give him a little bit when he was a kid. I've always loved coffee as well. On my daddy's side, my daddy was one of 16 children. My grandmother and grandfather had 14 boys and 2 girls. My pappy loved 2 things truly in life. He loved old granddad, and he loved my grandma. So, they've always had a huge coffee pot at the house. It was always the big economy. If you ever watch MASH, the big coffee pot that they go to that makes this ginormous, like it takes almost like a whole big can of Maxwell House to make. Yeah, that's the coffee pot we used to have at the house. Along with huge stacks of styrofoam cups, and creamer and milk was always in the fridge. So, my daddy always liked his coffee with a little bit of creamer in it. Now, me, I wasn't so much that. I was always a cream and sugar guy. Well, my cholesterol started to go high. My doctor really started to get on me about this and that, health-wise, so I decided I was going to try to cut back on my sugar intake. And I never realized how much sugar I was putting in my mud every day. So what I did was started to cut it back. And now I'm just a creamer guy, like my daddy. So I drink a little bit of mud every day. I will make a pot of coffee. I'll fill my mug, my thermos, if you will. Shout out to HumiSmart. Let's see. Coffee has just always been something that I've enjoyed. When we went over to Switzerland in 2019, those guys and gals were drinking espresso after every meal. Now, I get it. It helps with digestion and stuff like that. And I just thought, we get back to the hotel and it's like 10 o'clock at night. And people are sitting there drinking espresso. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing? How are they going to sleep? And I got to thinking, well, after you drink, if you only drink a little bit, it's really not that big of a deal. So what I decided to do was, I decided to try it. And I loved it over there. Now, I will drink a cup of mud sometimes at night when I come out to have a cigar in the evening if I'm not going to have a bourbon. Because I do prefer coffee with a cigar versus a other drink. Now, I will drink bourbon and stuff with it, don't get me wrong. This morning's an Alec Bradley Medalist is what I'm smoking today. And I do have my cup of mud in my mini mug. I love this mug from Disney. It kind of shows how she was developed and made. Kind of looks like she's pulling up her skirt there is what I've been told by some people on my posts. And it says Minnie Mouse on the inside. On the inside of the Mickey one, it says Mickey Mouse on it. They're the only two that I have like this. But, you know, obviously you've all seen my mugs through my videos and such. So I never really realized how much mud I drink. So back in 2017, 16, my Uncle Francis passed away. And we went to the funeral. You know, it was a come as you are, that's the Sephora way. I wore jeans and a flannel shirt to the funeral. And my one nephew dressed up. And he caught the devil for it. Because you don't do that. That's just not our way. That's not the Sephora way. So, afterwards, we were sitting there, Christy and I, and she says, you know, she said, I can tell you everybody that was married into the family versus Sephora by blood. And I said, there's no way you can go around that room in that house and tell me the difference between married in and bloodline. She said, I can. I said, how can you tell? Because I was curious. I was like, how in the world can you actually tell that difference? She says to me, it's relatively really easy. I said, okay. She said, a person that's married into the family will come in, find a seat, and just sit there. And talk and, you know, whatever, but that's a problem. I said, okay. She says, a true bloodline Sephora, when they walk in the house, they go right to the coffee pot. And I chuckled. And she said, what'd you do when you walked into the kitchen? I said, well, I went and I got a cup of mud. And she's like, exactly. She said, every one of you that is a true Sephora went right to the coffee pot. And I laughed because she was absolutely right. Because when I thought about it, when my cousin came in, right to the coffee pot. When my Uncle Paul came in, right to the coffee pot. At that point, he was about 90. And I kind of chuckled and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, what'd your cousin Jeff do when he came in the house? So, well, he went into the kitchen and got a cup of coffee. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, all the Sephoras really, truly drink mud. And it's just always been a huge staple for me. Mornings are just, I mean, I can function without it, but it's just a nice way to wake up. Now, I even enjoy iced coffee. So sometimes when we get up and we go on the road, we'll load up in the car at some crazy hour whenever we decide to leave to avoid traffic. And usually we'll stop at a rest stop or whatever, and we'll get a breakfast sandwich from a Dunkin' or McDonald's or something like that, and we'll get an iced coffee. I'll get an iced coffee. And she don't even ask me what I want to drink anymore. Most of the time, she just orders it. She just says, what do you want food? You know, what do you want? So I tell her what food I want, and then she knows what I want to drink. But, so John, I hope that answers your question, brother. I've always grown up around it. I really don't remember ever seeing an uncle of mine or a cousin of mine without a cup of coffee right close by. Even when my cousin goes hunting, he carries a thermos full of mud with him. So it's just one of those things, I guess. But I remember growing up and having some interesting conversations with my uncles, because my daddy died when I was 8. Grooming me into a man, teaching me things, educating me, teaching me right from wrong. And I remember very, very clearly sitting down with a styrofoam cup in front of me and in front of him with a cup of mud. Always. Outside, it could be 100 degrees outside, and we drink mud. That's just the way it is. Now, they'll drink coffee all day. My Uncle Frank was really crazy. He was diehard. He was one of those guys that could go to bed, take a cup with him up there, drink it, about half of it or whatever, or almost all of it, put it on his nightstand, fall asleep, sleep the night, wake up, and the first thing he drinks is the rest of that cup of mud. I cannot do that. If it's going to be cold, it's got to be iced coffee. It has to be iced coffee. I just cannot do it any other way there. But we went to get Piper her first cappuccino at Starbucks when we got her. It was about a week ago, I guess we did it. And she says, what do you want to drink? And I said, well, give me a caramel macchiato, because I like their caramel macchiatos. And she said, hot or cold? I said, well, I want it hot. She goes, Sean, it's 96 degrees outside. I said, I get it. That's what I want. She's like, all right. She shakes her head. But that's just the way it is. That's just, it relaxes me. I just enjoy it. So yeah, coffee's always been a big thing for me. If you guys want to leave a note or a comment below saying what you do with yours, whether you drink instant coffee or a certain brand of coffee, or you're a tea guy. I love tea as well, hot tea. There's a link below to the tea company that I use. And I really enjoy their tea as well. Their black teas have ruined Lipton and stuff like that for me, because they are just so fantastic. John, when you watch this, email me at ghostcob@yahoo.com with your name and address, because I would like to send you some teas and stuff to review. I would really like to get your thoughts on these teas. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and the support. You guys are so supportive of me and my channel, and it really does mean a lot. So until we can get together and pack a pipe or smoke a great cigar and enjoy that cup of mud, let all that you do be done in love. Y'all take care and God bless.